Hello, welcome back. This is Jeff Byers and this is Andy 150. And we are finishing up our laser weapon. And we have everything modeled. And all we need to do is a couple things. You probably, from the last video, you probably need to separate everything. So make sure you select it. And go to Mesh, Separate. And then I need you to select everything and center pivot and delete by type history. And then we're going to go ahead and select each piece and UV map it. I probably don't even have to go through how to do this because most of these you'll be using automatic mapping. I think the only thing you'll change would be a cylindrical map on the handle, but everything else will be automatic mapped. Or you can cut the UVs yourself. So there might be some parts you need to cut UVs. And I am going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to do the UVs on those two, how to cut UVs. The rest of these, this might need UVs cut, but the rest of these will be automatic mapping. So let's go ahead and just go into the largest piece we have and go into UV, and let's go ahead and go to automatic mapping and go to edit and reset settings and project. Now the UVs won't lay out right unless you delete history, so make sure you do that. Okay, so the UVs look good. Everything looks fantastic. Let's get that back out where it needs to be so I can see what I'm doing. There we go, just click off. Of course, we want to place these in a way that they're all facing the right direction. As you can see, we've got some nice spacing between each of these. I'm going to go ahead and select UV shell and rotate. I can tell this is the upper part. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate that. And my toolkit, I'm going to bring that up here. I can go to arrange. So I'm going to go ahead and click on orient shell. And I'm going to rotate this one to exactly the opposite side. So I'm going to orient that shell too as well. And I'm probably going to go ahead and just move these around and just move these underneath here. We're going to be using UDIM tiles, and I want you to go ahead and basically every piece should have its own UV tile. So we do see some weird little things like this that kind of pop up, and that is not good. And you can see that we've got some jaggedy pieces here, but those are usually in the creased areas, so you're not going to really see that much. But these do need to be taken care of. So let's find an edge here and find out where in the world that should go. It's hard to know. Sometimes you just need to go and select one of those edges and go to cut UVs, move and sew, and see if it finds its way back to the spot that it needs to go to. I'm going to do the same thing with that one, move and sew. There we go. And that should work. So I'm going to move the rest of these down like that. And I'm going to go ahead and get this set up here. And these both have to fit. So I'm going to go ahead and move that one down, that one up. And I probably want to rotate these two as well. They're facing the wrong direction, I feel. So I'm going to orient those like that. And you're going to be doing this to all the pieces. So I'm not going to sit here and do them all in front of you. That would just take too long. When I get done, I'm going to pause the video. When I get done, I'll show you what kind of setup I have and all that. And basically you'll just do that to all your pieces. I will probably show you how I did the handle, which will be helpful. So I'll probably do that next. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here like that. You can see that's a good pack right here. Also, since this is probably the biggest piece I have, except for this long piece down here, probably should do that one. That tends to be the biggest problem right there. Is that I think that's the biggest piece. It might be area size, but the length from here to here is way bigger than that. So I can't really set my textile density yet. Okay. All right, so let's go to this one. And I'm going to go ahead and go to UV and automatic map. And that one looks good, except it's not really facing the direction I want it to face. So I'm going to go ahead and go to shell. And again, rotate that in the right direction. And I am going to go ahead and move this. I don't really like how that's set up. Okay, now I can't get off. There we go. That was really weird. Okay, so I'm going to rotate that a little bit. It's kind of a strange rotation that it did. So that is the right way. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of orients it very strangely, doesn't it? When you hit the orient, so it doesn't really work on this piece. So I'm going to do that one and this one. And I'm going to see what it looks like here. Oh, yeah, they're both blue. If you get like a purple color, then it's red and blue. That means, and if it's red, that it's flipped over. So you'll have to flip that. So you can go to modify and flip if your normals are red, if you see red. So if that ever happens, that's what you do. The rest of these will be placed in here. So let's take these small ones and put them in here. And this one right here, put that in there. And that way we have some room for the bottom pieces. You take these small pieces up here too as well. There we go. All right, so that's the big piece, and we could probably get a little more out of this. So I'm going to go to UV shell, select it, and just make it bigger, and then move it. So, all right, so that's good. And then we can go ahead, and since this is the longest piece that we have, I believe, I'm going to go ahead and get the textile density set up. So under transform at the bottom, go ahead and click on get, and then select the rest of these like this, and go to set. And you'll do that with all your pieces now. Again, that just keeps your textile density, and the way you can check the textile density is to go in there and use the checkerboard to see if anything's stretched. And we're running out of room here. I gotta get in here and pack this a little bit better, because we cannot cross over. Okay, so that's it. So now you textile density, I'm set at 73.76 roughly, and then all the rest of the pieces need to be the same. Let's go to the handle. I'm going to select all these, just move these out of the way here, up here. And let's go ahead and do the handle real quick. And the rest, everything else will be automatic map, so there's no worries there. So what does this look like? Let's go to Control 1, and you can see that I just have that shape. Now, your shape might be a little bit different, but this is the shape that I have. I can use a cylindrical map, and that will work, except that it's angled, so it might have a problem. So I'll show you how that works. So I'm going to go to UV, I'm going to go to cylindrical, and I'm just going to click on project. Okay, so it does a pretty good job. It's not great, but what we want to do is we want to be able to rotate this and move it. So I'm going to click on this little, looks like a T. Click on that. And this allows us to do a couple things. We can go in here and rotate. So I can click on the outside blue round manipulator. And then in here, I can actually rotate it like this, okay, to the same angle of what I see here. So I can get really close. I'm just going to follow that edge there. And then I'm going to click back again, and I'm going to, I believe I can move this like that. So when I move that, I'm clicking on this guy right here. If I move it, you can see over here, let's get a little closer. It's kind of doing this weird thing because it sees that back of that thing. So I'm rotating this little round thing right here and just rotating around until the whole thing turns into a full piece. And there we go. So you can see that's looking pretty good. And if I go too far, it'll start splitting it up again. So I'm going to kind of rotate here like that and kind of get an idea where we're at with that. And that's pretty good, actually. Okay. That looks really good. So I'm going to go into selections, go into UV shell, click on the UV shell, and I'm going to unfold. There we go. And that will look just like it. Let's go ahead and click on the checkerboard. And it looks really good. So I'm really happy with that. And I think any texture you put on there will look really nice. So, all right, so let's go ahead and UV shell. And with this one, we want to go ahead and click on set. And this will set it up for everything to be the same textile density. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. And this will be by itself. We're using UV UDIM shells. Okay, and just put this by itself for now. Go into select mode and control 1 to get everything back again. All right, it's really important now that we go in there. I'm going to turn this off. Go back into here. There we go. And I'm just gonna have you guys go on your own, okay, and start laying everything else out. Now, I've already done these pieces up here, and that's wild. It just turned invisible. So I'm going to add another, assign a new material to it. So I'm going to go to shader and yeah, standard surface, and that's all needed to do. So we have a piece underneath there, whatever your piece looks like. I know it might be a little different because I might have modeled it differently in class, but you're going to use automatic map on that too as well. So automatic map will work on the rest of it, and that's all I want you to do. Just automatic map it, move the UV shells around and pack it properly, getting it in the right direction, and that's all you have to do. And I'll come back and show you what the whole thing looks like when I'm done, and I will see you in a little bit. Okay, we're back, and I've got everything laid out. You can see all how the layout is and all the pieces, and I just went from left to right and then back up again, and I've got 13 UDIM tiles. Every piece has got its own UDIM tile. Just make sure you don't have any pieces that are touching the outer edge, or they're overlapping or touching each other. That's the biggest thing you have to watch out for, otherwise it will not go into Substance Painter. So just double check everything. Make sure your textile density looks good, and don't worry about these smaller pieces wasting space and stuff like that. It's okay, you're using UDIM tiles. I just noticed I got some small little pieces here that I can go ahead and just move and sew. I'll do that before. Yeah, there we go. Let's move and sew those, and then we can go and do a UV snapshot of our stuff. So I'll take you through that part. Let's go back into selection mode, make sure we have everything selected. And I'm going to go ahead and combine everything again. We'll have to do that before we send it out, export it out. So select everything, go to mesh, and then combine. Okay, and then we'll want to center pivot, delete history, and freeze transformations. And that means that everything is now showing up. Our UV texture space. Ooh, I got some stuff that moved on me. And we can't have that, so I'm going to go in here, UV shell, and move that back up. I have to be super careful that we're not touching any of the outer pieces here. It will give me an error if it does. All right, I think that's good. Again, everything got shifted. That's weird. Never had that happen before. Very strange indeed. Okay, that one looks good. That one looks good. Okay. All right. Okay, so there we go. That is all the pieces. Go back into object mode. All right, this has to be in object mode before you do a UV snapshot. So I'm going to click on UV snapshot. Tell it where you want it to go, where you want it to end up. Mine is on my hard drive. All right, get that into source images. Go ahead and name that to be something that makes sense. Like weapon UV TX, something like that. And then I have 13 across. So I have 13 UV UDIMs total. That's what you have to do. You have to count each one of those. So I have 13, and then I'm going up to 2 spaces, so that'll be 2 on the vertical, which is V. The U goes across, so we have 10 across, and then 11, 12, 13. So 13 there, and then 2 up. So we got 1, 2 up. 4096 PNG. We told it to go to the source images and apply and close. There we go. This takes a while because it's a 4096 map. Okay, it's all done. You're ready to rock and roll. Close that, and of course save your work. And I don't know if I didn't set my project. Shame on me. Always set your project. So do that. Go down. There it is. Set my project. All right, let's go ahead and save. And we want to do, yeah. And we want to do 13 and UV map. And I'm going to type in FIN for finished on that. There we go. Save as. And now we're going to go ahead and send it out on its way. So export selection. We want OBJ. And we want to call it weapon UV TX. I'm going to put SP on the back for Substance Painter. Export selection, and then in the next video, you already know how to texture, but I'm gonna help you guys bring it in, get everything set up, and I'm gonna have you guys do your own texturing. I'm not gonna even show you what I do. You'll see an end result, of course, but I want you guys to texture your own stuff. You've done it enough now where you know how to do it, but I'll help you guys get your object into Substance Painter, get it set up, bake some maps, and maybe show you some cool things you can do with smart materials. So think that's it for now. We'll see you in the next video for texturing with Substance Painter. I will see you then.